everyone, greetings. Jerry here. Fasting day number 5, I think. Okay, the update is yesterday, Friday, late, my shift, late, after 7, I kind of got a little bit of the hungries, that sensation, which usually I get on the 3rd day, but it's been delayed. I'm zero hungry today. Nothing, zero. Drinking the electrolytes, the keto chow fasting drops. And because we had Ladybug have the mobile bath, I got to do all of the comforters and all the bed sheets because I'm trying to get rid of all of that hair, and I just don't want it in the house. I don't want it in the house and the hair in the dryer and all of that shenanigans. So I go to the laundromat. So in the back you'll see there's all the blankets back there. As I'm driving through Bloomer, and there's a lot of businesses in Bloomer, there is one flag that is at half staff today, and that is at the library. That's it. The police department doesn't have it. The fire department doesn't have it. Quick Trip doesn't have a flag at all because, and I just asked when I went in to get Jack something, the reason they don't have a flag at all is because their flag was starting to become frayed and they took it down out of respect for our flag, which is good. So I asked the kid inside, I said, hey, today's Pearl Harbor Day, where's your flag? That's when he told me about it being frayed, and I said, you do know what Pearl Harbor Day is, don't you? And he gave me the blankest stare. Honest to Pete, the guy doesn't know. He said, I don't know. And if he's all of 22, let's say, if he's even that old, he said he went to school in Eau Claire, which of course is the big city for up north. And he says, in grade school, they don't teach us that. They don't, the public school, he said, is failing them. I said, I can see, I understand. Not to be all high and mighty and snotty, but for those of you that know, I went through Catholic grade school, Catholic high school, Catholic university. I believe I'm a different generation now. I am the ruler generation, or should I say the yardstick, the nuns and the habits and the yardstick generation in grade school. Whack. So I said, do you do cursive? Because he's that age, you know. And he said, they taught us cursive in 3rd grade. And I said, well, if I was to write something to you, like in cursive, could you read it? He said, absolutely not. Oh, the public school. Oh, even in Eau Claire, they're just failing people. Honest to Pete. Oh, so it is what it is. So it's not a happy day. It's a day of remembrance. But if you have a flag, make sure it's at half staff today and remember the day. That's it for right now. Got a couple more trips to do and then I will jump back on again. So catch me in a sec. Okay, back in the car, done with Quick Trip, heading back through Bloomer. And I am probably, what time is it right now? Oh, it's almost 4 o'clock. I think what I'm going to be doing tonight is, I'll be home before 5. I think I'm going to do church service over the internet tonight. Just because Jack isn't, obviously, still not up to doing that type of walking, even though we do park by the handicap spot at church. That's still a little bit too much. We don't own our own personal wheelchair because, well, we just don't. We have the walker that has the wheels, but I don't want to put too much stress and strain on Jack having to walk. Now he needs to walk. They did say to walk every hour. Get up from your chair. It's go from the living room to the kitchen, or go from the living room to the restroom, whatever the case may be. But Yeah, usually when I get home, he hears me and he helps me bring in the blankets and bed sheets and what have you. No thanks to you, Ladybug, our German shedder, as they coined the phrase for German Shepherds. Oh man, she was so loaded, and like when you guys saw her this week, she was totally fluffy. They put her in the box with the blow dryer, and she was just fluffy, and they got a lot of hair out of her. For those of you that know German Shepherds, you can literally go in and pick it off of her, and she doesn't like it. I mean, she won't bite you or whatever, but she'll run the other way. But Felicia, our groomer, she is so good with our girl. I was well pleased. I am at a stop sign. I gave her Christmas present on Thursday, and she was surprised. She said, "Nobody's ever given me a Christmas present." I said, "Well, there's a surcharge that Groom & Zoom just started because of the high gas prices, which I'm thinking that's going to be going down, wink, wink, nod, nod, if you know what I mean, within the not too distant future." But I said to her, or she said to me, that people are complaining about the $6 additional surcharge because of the high cost of gas. I said, well, I can understand, but if you put this into perspective, for those of you that get your dog groomed, Ladybug doesn't get clipped like Hope and Andy's dog or anything, but every quarter she gets her nails done. We have Groom & Zoom do her teeth cleaning for her, the double coat, of course, because German Shepherds are so full of hair that, yeah, she needs a double coat grooming. And just for the regular price without the tip is $108. But if I was to go to one of those Petco's, oh, that's another story. Let me tell you about Petco in Eau Claire after I'm done with this little brief analogy, or my logic, Jerry logic. Hopefully no squirrel logic. The times when we used to take our German Shepherds, and when we had two, of course, before I got wise enough to Groom & Zoom, having them come to my house, is Jack and I both used to take the two German Shepherds. That's two fees, by the way. Of course you know that. So that that's over $200 just in the grooming for the Shepherds, not including the tip at the pet store places. So then we would go and see a movie or grab a bite to eat, and then before you know it, that $200 bill was up to $300, if you know what I mean. So having the one German Shepherd for $108 to the house, and we don't pay $108, we normally give her a tip, but because it's the Christmas season, like I do with my hairstylist, like I do with my pedicurist, you spread Christmas cheer, Hanukkah cheer, and you give them a gift. It's just proper, I think, business etiquette. But when I was a business owner too, I would give our UPS driver and Amazon driver a little tip. I mean, it's one thing if you tell Alexa, I have to spell it for those of you that own one, if you tell her about the service and tell her to tip the driver. Last year, I believe they used to give them a $5 tip, but every time the driver comes, we ask her, the box, to thank the driver. So they get some type of accolade. But we have the regular Amazon driver typically, like we do the regular UPS guy. I'm going to be very sad when my UPS guy leaves. I really will. Also, our heating oil, our house heating oil guy, we give him a Christmas present. The mail lady, we make sure we give them a Christmas present. We have two male ladies. Yeah, male ladies. One that delivers packages and one that delivers letters. I personally think it's a waste because my father worked for the postal system to have two of them, but nope, we just do up here. It's a different world up here in northwestern Wisconsin. It really is. So let's talk back to when we had the two German Shepherds at Petco. We took the dogs in, both of them, and Fred, she was a good dog. We think she was abused. She came from a shelter in Chicago, and we always rescue German Shepherds, by the way. So when we rescued Fred, the rescue lady said to us, "Do you speak Spanish?" I said, "No habla español," and she laughed at me. And I know minimal words from high school, my high school Spanish that I took, but I don't know. I want my German Shepherd to speak American, and I don't want to have to speak Spanish to my dog. End of discussion. You live in America, our dogs that are under our house, you will learn English. So Fred acclimated real fast. I mean, I told her the little bit of words, agua, leche, because she loved milk. The first time I gave her milk, she was so pleased. She loved it so much. At first she was like, what is this milky water you're giving me? So I went down to reach. This is the first time that we brought her home. Went down to reach and get her bowl after she drank it all. And she nipped at me. She didn't pierce skin or bite me or whatever, but she thought she had food aggressions. I think she thought either I was going to hit her or I was taking her food away. Neither was going to happen. I was going to give her more, but she didn't know that because she was new in our house. So she had a fear of people. So when we took her to Petco, after we dropped both of the dogs off, Ladybug number 1, our first Ladybug, and then Fred, both are girls, by the way. Our first German Shepherd we had, I gave Jack as an anniversary gift, 5-year anniversary gift. He named her Bob. So Fred was something in Spanish, Frederica or something they named her. So we just cut it short and called her Fred. She loved it. And dogs really don't know the name so much as the sound. They hear the sound, their name. We dropped them off we're sitting at Olive Garden in Eau Claire. It's literally blocks away from where we dropped her off at Petco. And we're sitting there, and all of a sudden my cell phone goes off. It's Petco calling. Hello? Yes. Your dog bit one of our groomers. I said, no, she didn't. I know my dog. She's so well-tempered, I know. Well, it came out. This is a long story, very short. What they were doing was trimming her fur around her ears. We never trim German Shepherd's hair. Ever. So what they did was, when we picked her up, she was clipped. So if she bit the groomer, it's because the groomer hurt Fred. So we had to tell the Olive Garden we need to cancel the order. We have to go pick up our dog like a kid at daycare. Same thing. You know, the dogs take priority to us. So we canceled our order, gave the girl a tip for her inconvenience. They didn't start preparing our meals and paid for the 2 coffees or sodas or whatever we drank. And went to pick up Fred, and here she is. Bloody ear. So we put 2 and 2 together and said, never say never. I know they say that. No longer will we take our dogs to Petco for grooming. We're just not going to do it. I mean, think about it, you guys. I give my dog food better than what we do give our daughters and what I gave my son. It's a shame, but it's the truth. They say that people spend so much money more on their dogs after they're retired than they did their own children, which is a very true statement in our case. I know it is. So I don't have any qualms with Groom and Zoom and their fees, and we're going to continue to do it every quarter, every 3 months religiously, because we have hardwood floors and you hear the nails clicky all over the floor and whatever. And it saves Jack and me from brushing her and bending down and brushing her, which is horrific on our backs, needless to say. So that's it. I am approximately 1 mile from the house. I wanted to jump on, do a little quick video. Nothing really to talk about insofar as fasting is concerned, because I'm not eating. I'm just drinking the Keto Chow fasting drops, thank the Lord, and the Keto Chow electrolytes and the daily minerals, like I showed you guys earlier this week. And that's fabulous, darling, for me. Fabulous. So that's it, guys. Have a wonderful rest of the evening. I'm going to be uploading this before the sun goes down and get some church. Talk to you later. See you tomorrow. Cheers.